Hello, Bristol. We began today with the cleanup underway across Connecticut after severe storms ripped through the state of Connecticut. Not just Connecticut, right here in your backyard of Bristol as well. Trees down, trees on homes, tangled power lines, and thousands are still in the dark tonight. Take a look at this graphic that we have. Uh, Now, as of this morning, 60,000 were out of without power in the state of Connecticut. And in the map that you're looking at now, and now this map, I want to let you know, is only as of this morning. We have around 3,900 residents still without power. Now we're going to try to update those numbers for you. As soon as we have that information, we'll bring them over to you. But earlier today, we traveled around the city of Bristol. Okay. And we kind of took a look at some of the damage that was going on. Here's some images from last night as the storm ripped through our beautiful city. As you can see, it was just an absolute mess, tangled power lines. You see the workers there. And this is courtesy of Mayor Ellen Zappo's page on Facebook. Thank you for those photos. And you'll also see some debris down over off of, I believe, Shrub Road. It was just an absolute mess. We have a graphic also of what the hell looked like. And this, as I was going and scrolling like most of you to take a look at what was going on in the city, the hell size doesn't compare to the photo that you're seeing now on your screen. If you have any video, if you have any photos of the damage, please send them over to the Bristol edition. We would highly appreciate that. Now, earlier this afternoon, we spoke to a couple of residents who gave us their experience on what they went through during the storm. I want to introduce you to Ellie, a longtime Bristol resident. Here's what she had to say.
8 o'clock, I came out on the porch and I pulled up my shades because they said we were going to have a thunderstorm. So I said, if there's any wind, I better pull them up. So I came back in, and no sooner did I get back in, it started to rain. And then as I was sitting there, the lights flickered once, the cable went off, so I shut the television and sat in the somewhat dark. One light in the living room was on. That was the one that flickered and whatever. And then all of a sudden, it was raining so hard, I could hear this thump, thump, thump on both sides of the house. It was the hail. It must have been the size of a baseball because that's what it felt like. It felt like somebody was hitting a ball against both sides of the house. As I say, with all the years that I've been here since 1966, and never had I ever felt, hail to that extent, maybe a little bits of hail, but certainly not to that extent. And last year I had the experience of a bear walking through the yard. Never have I had that experience before either.
Neither have I, Ellie. Neither have I. Hopefully, I don't encounter that. But thank you for talking to us. The wonderful Laura Bailey, you may notice her great articles on the Bristol edition. Talked to her earlier this morning as she was doing her hard work. She does such a great job for us here. And here's a little report that I'll share. This was a fast-moving line of severe thunderstorms that swept across the state Saturday night, and Bristol took a direct hit. The city says on Facebook that trees are down across town and on some houses with wires tangled up in branches. Now, crews from Eversource and Bristol Public Works have been out since last night working to clear it. The north side of the city appears to have taken the worst of it. We also saw some hail. Some reported golf ball sized hail in parts of the state. We received quite a bit of hail on Federal Hill. Some of those hailstones fell in Laura's yard. And our editor-in-chief actually has a broken window at his house on Goodwin Street. And there's history here. Bristol has confirmed a tornado touchdown in the same general area back in 2010. So residents take these warnings seriously, but there wasn't much time to prepare since there was little warning, and some are calling what we experienced a micro burst. Now, another resident who experienced tremendous damage to his yard, you're going to see here just a bit. This is Miles Jennings. We caught up with him earlier this evening, and just take a look at the damage that was done in his backyard.
Watching a movie, horror movie, and basically we heard the rain get heavier, so we looked out and we sort of commented, hey, this is really getting pretty bad. And then it was just a huge crash and like a huge booming sound, and we didn't know whether it was lightning or thunder or a hurricane, just the winds. And then of course, like everyone else, we started hearing all the hail as well, and so we went out. And and we found that one of our largest trees was knocked down in the back, and it was maybe you'll take some pictures, but it was in a very lucky position in that it didn't hit our garage, and it did hit our house, but it didn't hit in the sort of the main trunk, didn't crush us. So we consider ourselves very blessed and lucky. The first thing I did was the tree here that you have in the background came down one of the branches on Oakland Street here, so that was blocked. So we wanted to get that cleaned up, and I didn't even see them do it, but somebody came out last night and fixed that up, which was really good. And then I connected with GM2 Tree Service. I'll give them a shout out last night. And they came this morning and did tons of work, and they got the tree off the house and did a really good job in the cleanup. So yeah, we're just sort of repairing things now, and it's a crazy day.
Thank you, Miles, as well for speaking to us here on the Bristol edition. Now, for more of an extensive update and probably hasn't gotten a lot of rest, very grateful and thankful for our city mayor who has been all around town. I'm sure it's been a chaotic day, but we thank her for joining us this morning. Everyone, please welcome in Mayor Ellen Zaposasu. Ellen, thank you for joining us here. I know you've had a crazy day. Now, we want to start off with any updates. Do you have any updates that you could provide us in terms of power outages?
No, and I know that's very frustrating to the general public, especially those without power. But we've had Eversource in town last night with all the wires that were entangled in trees, and we have made all of our roads mostly passable. I think that Fallsbrook might still be unpassable based on two situations there. But for the most part, the live wire dangers and all of the wires in trees are better. So what that means is now that we've been made safe, we have to proceed with restoration. And that takes a little bit of time because what we have now are area crews that are here from Eversource and subcontractors who are evaluating the problem areas. So we get a lot of comments from people who are very frustrated that they see Eversource trucks driving by problem areas, pausing, looking up, getting out of their truck, walking around, and then getting back in their truck and driving away. So I think it's important to clarify that there are stages to this type of project. There's emergency work, freeing up wires from trees, getting streets safe. And then there's the assessment period. And that's what people are mostly seeing now. They're in the problem areas, they're assessing. And what they're doing is they're communicating back to the restoration crews. When you come to X Street, you're going to need, and they're listing all of the equipment so that when the crews get here, we don't have further delays with them calling back and saying, I need supplies. Very frustrating to homeowners who have now, are approaching 24 hours without power, but that's the process. I will also say that Bristol was made safe probably first in the area due to our tree crews and our police dispatchers taking down all the information, relaying that to Public Works. Fire was out during work. Police officers were stationed in certain areas. So we were made safe early. And then we wait while the rest of the region is made safe. And then they do the transition. So I've been in contact with Eversource for most of the day. What happens in a storm like this is you're assigned a liaison and they stay with you during the entire time and they'll answer any questions. So they are adamant that they are not going to give out false information or premature information. We do not have a timeline for restoration right now, but they are here, they are working, and we are hoping that over the course of the next few hours, barring what might happen between 6 and 9 p.m. tonight with another rainfall and storm, that we'll continue to do that work and we will be prepped for restoration the next day.
And thank you to the brave city workers out there who always do a great job and are sacrificing, themselves out during these dangerous situations to help the city as best as they can. But if you can give us kind of just a little bit, what was the scene like last night as this started to unfold?
It looked like a war zone in some areas. And think about the ominous lighting and emergency vehicle lights and everything. And there was just so much debris in the road that it was hard for me to fathom what had happened because not every part of the city had that type of storm reaction. But as we got closer to the northern area of town, it was clear that something significant had happened in the Burlington Avenue, Shrub Road, Jerome Avenue area. Some people are describing it as a microburst. I am not a meteorologist, but it sure looked to me like something had touched down and caused havoc. We have large, mature trees that were completely uprooted, laying across yards and houses and crossing roads. There is a lot of damage to personal property on private property. So I know that a lot of homeowners are wrangling with that. We've had cars destroyed. Obviously, you mentioned the hail.
Yeah,
There's been property damage from that as well. So from the city side, we're clearing roads, clearing obstructions, trying to provide help where we can, but also trying to maintain services. And the property owners had a lot of work today in terms of identifying tree companies, as the Jennings family had to, calling adjusters, calling insurance, documenting, taking photos, and worrying about that side of their business as well.
Absolutely. And, as I was walking around and going into different neighborhoods, one of the things that struck me was how the amount of people that mentioned I had never experienced this type of storm. Is this unprecedented for Bristol?
Well, it was unprecedented for us because the city of Bristol pays for a subscription service to a meteorological service. And our public works director checked in with them yesterday, as we do before every storm, tell us what's happening. Storms coming in, expected about an inch of rain, storms moving out by 11. But that is not what played out. You saw a band of storms whip through Connecticut, starting in the northwest corner and coming in on a diagonal sweep through Harwington, Burlington, Torrington, hitting that northern edge of Bristol and then continuing through into Forceville. And the damage was extensive. That was not on anyone's bingo card for last night.
No. And, it's important because I talked to one neighbor in the downtown area who mentioned I was driving home. I just was not aware of the severity of the storm, but I was driving home and just this huge pieces of hail were hitting my car. How important it is, and where should people be looking to be maybe getting some weather information and taking it serious when there is a weather alert coming our way? That they should maybe take it a little bit more seriously to maybe stay out of the roads and stay out of harm's way.
I think anytime you get a weather alert, whether on your phone or your radio or any type of media, you need to take it seriously. We were impeded slightly last night by people who were out gawking at things, and it was not a safe environment to do so. People did not plan appropriately, so there were people who were stuck in it. We had some flash flooding areas, Stafford Avenue at Collins, and so people were trying to move their vehicles. People were pulling over because they were afraid to drive. You just have to use common sense. Pull off into parking lots, get off of the main roads, watch the water levels, try not to drive through them, all of those types of things that we tell people all the time. But when it comes up on you so fast, it does leave people very vulnerable.
Absolutely. And, when you get those first weather alerts, it's important to take those very seriously. Mayor Ellen, thank you so much for joining us. Is there anything else that you would like to tell the residents of Bristol?
Yes. So we are still in storm response mode, and we are going to have discussions tomorrow with our Public Works leadership team about how to help residents dispose of the debris that have accumulated in their yards. We don't know what shape that's taking yet, whether it would be a curbside pickup or free passes for disposal at the transfer station, but those decisions will be made and that will be broadcast. Also, for anybody who might be on a private well system, we do have a free water station set up at 1080 Terrible Avenue, which is the Bristol Water Department filtration plant. You need to bring your own containers, but you can go there and you can fill up and bring water back to your home if you're a Bristol resident. You can call ahead, but there are staff there who will help you. And if the demand peaks, we will set that up outside just to make sure that everybody has access. I think those are the important points. We will continue to help Eversource manage medical patients, people who rely on oxygen, those types of things. If any seniors need help, if you need help with medication, access, you're being asked to call the mayor's office and we will try to pair you up with a service so that you can get help. And that phone number for Monday is 860-584-6250. But But meanwhile, if there's any types of emergencies, the police department is the first call, 860-584-3011 or 911 if it warrants it. And our public works crews will be in dispatch tomorrow, taking all the messages that have been left over the weekend, and we will be taking those in order as well.
That's a great point, Mayor. Listen, folks, we have to look out for our senior citizen community as well. Care for your neighbors who may not be able to be as mobile or be able to do as much during these storms.
One more thing. We are very conscious that if this lasts more than one day, that people are going to need to maybe cool off, charge materials, phones, maybe work someplace where they have internet access. So we're going to be providing those opportunities as well. That will be announced tomorrow.
Okay, so we look forward to that announcement, Mayor. Listen, folks, around 7 p.m., we're forecasted to get another band of rain. Now, as you heard from the mayor herself, we didn't expect the storm to be what it was last night. So please drive with caution, stay tuned to your weather alerts, and stay tuned to right here to the Bristol edition for all your latest updates. And we'll try to get you the latest information as quick as we possibly can. Thank you again to Mayor Ellen Zoppel. Thank you so much for coming. I know that you've had quite a busy day. Marin Lopez here with the Bristol edition. Stay safe, Bristol.